What's up guys, Johnny here with AA Trailers. It's been a minute since we've been out in the yard here at our new plant. We went through a cold snap, so we didn't have too much ambition to be out here, but forklift happening in the back, so we'll put up with that. So behind me here is our GEQ217. Traditionally you would see this a lot just as the EQ217, so a triple axle equipment trailer. Most people would see these in a bumper pull, but you can add a gooseneck to these with AA. Any equipment we can add the gooseneck to. We see this a lot, especially in the triple axle configuration. You're looking at the 21 to 24,000 GVW weight class, so a gooseneck is oftentimes a better way to go. So right at the front, as with any standard gooseneck, we have our 2 5/16, 30,000 pound ball coupler, adjustable safety chains that have a little rod underneath here to hook up so they're out of the way, not hanging down. And as well, you recognize the blue front, so the Arctic -60 degree front lead, so it's not crisp, doesn't stand up straight when it gets frozen. Spare tire is mounted up in the neck, just like it always is. This one did not add fold down spare mount, but you do have the option of adding the fold down spare tire mount, so you don't have to climb up and get your tire down. With the smaller tires, it's not as much of an issue. Still not super convenient, but with the bigger tires, majority of the time you add the fold down mount. The toolbox on these, because the frame is so wide, you get a full width upright toolbox. As there's no hydraulics, there's nothing in here, so lots of toolbox capacity on these equipment gooseneck trailers. Standard on a gooseneck is 2 12,000 pound jacks. That's exactly what this customer has opted for, no upgrades. You can upgrade to 12,000 pound 2-speed jacks, as well as 25,000 pound 2-speed jacks. You can even go as far as hydraulic jacks on any gooseneck unit. Moving towards the back here, this you can see isn't your traditional equipment deck. They've added the wide body option, which just means you get the full 102 inches with the drive over fenders. In a case where you had a dually truck, a wide piece of equipment, a scissor lift, you can drive right over those fenders and park to the outmost side of your deck, utilizing full width. They've also added these weld-on D-rings. So obviously they're planning on loading some equipment where they need to chain down versus strapping, where you ultimately need these D-rings when you're chaining down equipment. Deck on these, as on all of our trailers, is the heat-treated Douglas fir, a nice heavy, robust, durable lumber. And I touched on the drive over fenders. These are heavy 1/4 inch steel checker plate with extra bracing underneath. Like I said, you can drive right over here with equipment, scissorless, manless, that sort of stuff. And with the extra weight, they've also added 14-ply tires, which I think is a no-brainer, fantastic feature, very cost-effective, especially in the 20,000 and up GVW weight rating. They've also added the DT7 Conquer ramps, so these are essentially the mini Conquer ramps. Same thing you see on the goosenecks, just in a smaller version with a 3-foot dovetail. Again, we call them full width. You do have a space in the middle, but essentially it's a full width for track machine, wheeled machine, anything to load quite easily. And they are spring loaded and well balanced. This bar is essentially, if you had long equipment and you needed the full width or full length of the deck, you didn't have room to lock them down, you would put this bar in place, lock them in the upright position, and you can still transport even if you can't flip your ramps down all the way. Being as these are smaller, obviously they're much lighter than the gooseneck ramps, with just a single spring to lift them up and down, with the same latch that we had on the previous gooseneck ramps, keeping them locked down even if the bar is off. So that's the GEQ217. Again, you can get it in a bumper pull or a gooseneck, triple axle, tandem axle, 7,000 pound, 8,000 pound axles. There's many configurations. But the key takeaway is you can add a gooseneck to our equipment line of trailers. Check them out online at AAtrailers.ca or find your local AA dealer.